Screw fear. It's contagious, infecting everything. It's from Pink's Time Bomb. It may be redundant to say that personal fear is the largest obstacle for individuals to overcome, but that doesn't make it any less true. The fear of failing is crippling for most people. When you couple that fear with the stress or anxiety of what other people may say or think about what you are trying to do, you're left with a great formula for constructing your very own personal wall of defeat. A blockade created strong and mighty that only you can break down, and even worse, only you can see. These imaginary walls exist in most people's lives. We as a society are now bred to worry and constantly be aware of how we as individuals compare to other presumably equal people. Social media has been holding that gun to our heads since its inception. Unfortunately, we tend to follow the lead and pull the trigger ourselves, leaving social media only as an accomplice. This begins with something as simple as a profile. What is a profile exactly? A series of questions with pre-selected options as your available answers. You select or unselect the definitions available to you. You pick the labels that you feel best describe yourself in order to broadcast those answers and create a publicly accessed profile for all the world's inhabitants to see. A profile based on the very thing our 21st century selves have tried to abolish: labels. Predetermined selections of who we are, what we do, what we look like, and what we value. Instead of creating a public image rooted in our own words, we take the easy way out and limit the descriptions of ourselves to what's provided. We check off boxes for age, gender, political and religious affiliations, hair color, personality traits, and sexual preferences, just to name a few of the more universal basics. Every profile has its own set, and it varies depending on the goal or purpose of the hosting website. How do these profiles contribute to our own walls of defeat? Well, it makes us aware of who's paying attention to us, who is liking, commenting, and sharing in the public participation of our lives. From the random conversations I've had with both men and women, aged 20 to 40, the fear doesn't come from the strangers who participate in our internet lives, but from the people we know or used to know personally in our own lives. It's the final judgments from these people that we end up stressing about. It's more difficult to transition and change throughout your life if you allow these thoughts of what will they think lead your actions. Before social media, the people from your past would become a distant memory if you didn't personally maintain some resemblance of a friendship or relationship with them. Now, if you live in the ether at all, anyone can obtain access to what you are doing, trying to accomplish, your successes, and oftentimes embarrassing failures. Just knowing your failure could be public and everyone you've known in life could know about it is the foundation of our own wall of defeat. This foundation is important to recognize because it isn't real. It only exists in our own heads. When you start judging what you're doing because you know others will be judging, you are on the path to hindering yourself. The judgments of close family and friends is always harder because their opinions mean more to you than a random stranger. Oftentimes, it's more flattering when this attention comes from the strangers, though, because the general expectation is friends and family will support you no matter what. So, do they like what you're doing, who you're portraying yourself to be, or do they not? If they are active in social media but you don't see their virtual support, does that mean they don't support what you're doing? The truth is, you'll never really know unless you ask them yourself. But before you do that, figure out how the answer will affect you. If they provide a negative response, will that affect how you feel about whatever it is you are doing or promoting online? If so, that's part of your wall of defeat. Because this wall is only something you build up mentally, it makes it more difficult to deconstruct. So, the shorter the wall is, the easier it is. And it's a necessity to let go and let yourself become who you want to be. There will always be haters, and as difficult as they can be to ignore or disengage from, it's the best thing you can do for yourself. don't worry about the plan others have shoved down your throat and have pressed for you to follow. You can create your own path. You can live your own life's journey without anyone's predispositions of what your life is supposed to be. Ask yourself, is this fear a legitimate fear, or is it a fear stemming from the possible opinion of someone I may or may not know? If you remain fearful of opinion, that's your wall of defeat winning and growing taller, a growth that your mind has 100% control over. Confidence comes from within, and validation coming from others only means as much as you let it mean to you. It's not simple and not an overnight change, but you can train yourself to let go and do you. For the most part, you can do whatever you want, be whomever you want, and broadcast whatever qualities and or shortcomings you want to. Hashtag New World American Dream. My high school government teacher left us on graduation over a decade ago with, don't be afraid to become the person you want to be and not the person your high school friends are comfortable with. It really was some of the best advice for a group of early 18-year-old millennials about to be thrust into a world only known and experienced with their childhood eyes. It's always a challenge to really live by that rule, but when you muster up your inner strength and break down that wall of defeat, the world really does become a larger place littered with unique opportunity. Hashtag first world problems. I mean, and it's true even if the current weather of your life is fairly shitty. So, F the haters and F the plan. Believe in yourself and do you. Boo.